I see this way too often. People in business for a couple of years who started with a very clear vision on what they wanted their businesses to look like and why they wanted it that way, only to get a couple of years in to realize they've gotten further and further away from that vision. So much so that they start to feel resentful of their business and like they're trapped. If you can relate in any degree, in this video, we're going to unpack why this happens and what you can do to start correcting course so you can have a business you love that supports the life you want. Have you been in business a while and are starting to realize that things aren't exactly turning out the way you'd expected, the way you'd hoped? The good news, actually make that the reassuring news, is that nearly every business owner ends up here sooner or later. I think it's very, very rare for a business owner to sidestep this situation, this second guessing completely. The not so reassuring news is that the majority of business owners never end up fixing things. They either keep trucking along status quo, even though they're not happy, or shutting down shop. I want you and I to avoid the sad reality. The ultimate truth is that one, we are in the driver's seat of our businesses and have so much control over what our businesses and day-to-day looks like. And two, any business model that you can think of, that you can dream of, can absolutely work. It might just take work, but it's worth it. I'm also telling you that you don't have to switch gears overnight. I'm telling you, you don't have to. You don't need to take huge income cuts to make the changes that you want. There is a little by little process that you can use to make the changes you want in a safer and feel good way. When I first started my business in November of 2014, I was working my first real grown-up job. And so my business was really a nights and weekends side hustle. Because of the constraints on my time and the fact that I didn't yet have to rely solely on my non-existent business income to survive yet, I was able to create the business of my visions pretty quickly and without pressure. I'd say no to one-on-one clients, no time, do content the way I wanted, and only work on the projects that were worth missing out on my full weekends and evenings. I had no choice but to be super selective. After going full time in my business, though, a couple of years later, I noticed that my old pro-con list-loving self slipping, and without the I don't have time armor, I fell into people-pleasing mode. I started saying yes to clients who weren't 100% matched to my values and pushed boundaries that I failed to reinforce. I noticed my days filling up with busy work and felt like I was constantly putting out fires instead of doing what I loved most in my business, creating high value content. Eventually, it all came to a head with one really terrible client experience, a vacation spent mostly in tears, and a bathtub breakdown. I knew that things had to change. And so since last year, I've been using this same little by little approach that I'm going to share with you to slowly shift myself back into alignment with the business I want. So how do you know if you're headed in the wrong direction with your business? Well, it's time to ask yourself some really important questions. Number one, why did I originally start my business? And has that motivation changed? Two, how much am I really working in my business right now? And where am I spending that time? Basically, what is my business costing me? What am I putting in? Number three, what are all the things that I'm getting in return from my business for the work and time I put in? Number four, how is my business currently fitting into my life? And then what does my ideal lifestyle look like? And in this ideal lifestyle, what am I doing on a yearly, a monthly, a weekly, and daily basis? Both work-wise and personal-wise too. Then number five, finally, what needs to change in order for me to live the lifestyle I want? What changes do I need to make to my business? Think offer, ideal clients, systems, marketing, sales systems, team. Your answers to these questions will let you know if you need to make some major or even minor adjustments. It is true though, no business is going to be perfect 100% of the time, but I'd argue that it should be an 80% practically perfect to a 20% not so much ratio. So what should you do if through these questions you've realized that your business needs to switch things up? A lot of your actions have likely already been revealed through your answers, but tackling them all at once can be really overwhelming or unlock fears that you might break your business and not bring in the money that you need to pay for your business expenses or pay yourself. This fear is especially going to pop up if you feel like other people are depending on you you and the business. So here is what to do. Take everything that you wrote to the question, what needs to change in order for me to live the lifestyle I want? What changes do I need to make to my business? Think offers, ideal clients, systems, marketing, sales systems, team, the whole gamut. And then I want you to give each of these things that you've identified a score from 1 to 10 on the following 3 criteria. I want you to go through and score each one 1 to 10 based on how big of a difference implementing this change is going to make in helping you get closer to your ideal lifestyle. Then I want you to go through again and score each one 1 to 10 based on how easy this change is going to be to implement. Is it something that's going to take a whole lot of work, or do we have some low-hanging fruits that we can maybe tackle first? Then finally go through and score each one 1 to 10 based on how ready you feel right now to implement all or part of the change. Once you have your scores, I want you to tally them up and decide which one action you're going to work on implementing first. Then here's the important part. For the first change, I want you to write down 3 things. I want you to start by writing down one tiny step that you can take in 10 minutes or less to just get the ball rolling. Maybe it's some research, maybe it's contacting someone. Then second, what is the first milestone that you have to hit or thing that you have to implement on your way to committing to the full change? And then finally, what are the next 5 to 6 actions you'll take to hit that first milestone? After you've gone to take these actions and hit the first milestone, I want you to repeat the same process until the change is fully implemented in your business. And then you can go and complete this entire process again for your second change on the list, then your third, then your fourth, then your fifth, and so on. This tiny steps approach has led to some pretty big changes in my business since the start of this year, all without getting overwhelmed or having my sales majorly suffer. With every small change you make, you'll get closer and closer to the business you actually want, and it's going to feel better and better too. So make a commitment in the comments. What is one small or big change that you're going to make in your business? Then, if you find this video helpful, give me a like and hit subscribe to be notified when the next video drops. And until next time, happy empire building.